Usually when my clients arrive for their appointment, they're not wearing any makeup. But this girl wore makeup to the appointment just to have me take it off and then do her makeup again. I thought that was a little strange, but after I removed her makeup, I saw her nose. The tip of her nose was bright red and even a little bit deformed. It looked like a really bad sunburn. I tried to avoid the area when I started doing her makeup, but eventually I had to put makeup on her nose. And when I did, it was just not working. Her skin was literally peeling off. The makeup would not stay. So that's when I asked her, is there something going on with your nose that I should know about? Let me also just say that at this point, it was starting to swell and was noticeably more red than it was when she got there. That's when she told me that she had recently been out of the country for a mission trip and that she had picked up a flesh-eating bacteria, which had affected her nose. Then she told me not to worry because she had been on antibiotics for months, and that the irritation on her nose was just her skin healing. For once, I was horrified, not my client.
Tell thought he was being haunted by ghosts. So Tell, Gabe, and I were staying at an Airbnb while we recorded the podcast. I woke up that morning to find Tell distraught in the kitchen. So I asked him what was wrong. He said he was up all night because he thought he heard somebody in the house. He heard what sounded like choking noises outside his door. Needless to say, he didn't get a lot of sleep that night. So I said, I wonder if Gabe was snoring or something. He said no, somebody was choking to death. So of course we investigated. I went into his room and had him go across the hall and make the same sound that he heard. Brace yourselves, it sounded like this. Imagine hearing that at 3 a.m. Terrifying. As we're investigating, Gabe comes out of the bathroom and he's like, what are you guys doing? So we proceed to ask him, did you hear the weird noises last night? He said, no, I didn't hear them. They were probably me. Gabe has night terrors and a deviated septum. So what Tell thought was a ghost was just Gabe. Moral of the story, if you're going to stay in an Airbnb with Gabe, Dan, and bring earplugs.
Story time about how I got put in the slammer for something I didn't do. This is crazy. Prime example of wrong place, wrong time. Me and 3 of my friends went to the mall, shopping for expensive stuff. So my friends get to the cashier before me. I noticed when they were done checking out, they didn't have any bags. They just had the stuff in their hands. So I go to check out my items and we get ready to head out. Then I had this big alarm going off and the security is coming to get me. They're like, what's in the bag? I'm like, all this stuff is paid for, so back up, you're not checking. Bye. They said it was mandatory to check, so they look at my bag and start showing me all the items that were not paid for. I look at my friends and they took, my friends literally set me up and took off running. Oh my God. So obviously they take me to jail and I have to call my mom to bail me out. Thanks a lot. Now we were all of age, so trust me, when I got out, I pressed charges for sure.
I will never buy Christmas gifts and say it's from Santa ever again. I can't. When my cousin was younger, he wanted an Xbox, right? So I wanted to do something nice. I worked, I'm talking about almost every single day, extra hours to save up to get this Xbox. I'm dealing with rude customers, terrible experiences in order to get this money to buy the Xbox. I get him the Xbox, right? I say it's from Santa because that's a responsible adult thing to do, right? Save the Christmas spirit. He opens the gift. I'm like, oh, did Santa get you an Xbox, buddy? He's like, yeah. I said, oh, he must have worked really hard to do that. This kid looked at me and said, you will never understand what true hard work is like. Santa worked really hard to give me this Xbox. I looked at him, I said, hey buddy, happy holidays. You know what I mean? And then I took all the batteries out of the controller before I left. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I refuse.